Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to the latest, we always call it Breakfast with Ignite, but as it is, me and Chris are full of pizza. It's Friday afternoon, we're having a beer.
Is that really breakfast?
It's another beer with Ignite. We do those occasionally, so welcome. We've got I think, a really entertaining little show for you today. Last few episodes have been really focused on the platform. That's still obviously rocking and rolling in the background. Development's going on, but I won't bore you with anything today, I promise. We thought we'd have a bit of a conspiracy theory type week, so we're gonna actually have a chat.
Yeah,
this isn't scripted. It's not premeditated. We're just gonna have a chat about some things that have been going on in the industry this week. That there's some weirdness attached to it, and I think it's going to be quite entertaining.
Yeah, we're going to talk shop.
Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah. What are we talking about, Chris?
We're going to talk about conspiracies in crypto. Yeah. No?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are we going to talk about? We are going to talk about why crypto is such a mess this week, because it was looking really good over the weekend.
It was. Yeah.
And we were both thinking, oh yes, it is going in the right direction. $10,000 Bitcoin, here we come.
Yep.
Happy days again. But unfortunately, that was not the case. And we woke up, driving to work, everything great, and then sat down and what?
Yeah.
You know, $1,000 wiped off Bitcoin in a matter of minutes. Why did this happen? We're going to talk about it.
Let's go through the options.
Yeah.
So, the popular opinions are, we'll start with one that's been doing the rounds. Silk Road. Everyone remembers Silk Road.
Yep,
Silk Road actually pretty much made Bitcoin back in the day. So, the first conspiracy theory is, and this is all linked, by the way, this is all linked to the fact that a Bitcoin wallet that's been dormant for just over 4 years was reactivated this week with about $800 million worth of Bitcoin in there. Granted, it wasn't always worth that, but that's its current value. I think it's Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, actually, because there's some of the values of the forks. And I think it was about 10 million of it got moved to various exchanges. And this started alarm bells ringing. It was about the right time. Whether the two have been provably linked, I don't know. But anyway, set question marks up into the air. Everyone's saying, what is this $800 million and why has it been reactivated now? So the first conspiracy theory is Silk Road. Discuss.
Silk Road. Do we think that was the case? Well, it would make sense in a few reasons.
Would the feds have missed a wallet?
No. But the thing is
would the feds have hidden some funds?
No, I have my suspicion that it's a drug cartel.
Yeah.
That's my feeling. My feeling is that. But again, we're going down conspiracy road, so why not? My feeling is that it's, someone had to supply all those guys selling on Silk Road with the drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who was that? Probably drug cartels. So they were probably getting paid in Bitcoin from the people selling it for Bitcoin on the Silk Road. All that money was coming back probably into one wallet, maybe. And, hey, it costs a lot of money to run a drug cartel these days,
So, I mean, the period of time there, the 4 years is interesting. I being legally trained, I started thinking about whether or not it might be some sort of statute of limitations issue, but we thought about that. We thought about, like, criminal activity isn't in most jurisdictions anyway, isn't really limited.
Do you know the thing, though, is, if it goes on an exchange and they sell it, then they had to do KYC on the person who owns the account.
Exactly.
So someone somewhere knows who owns that wallet. That's the truth.
I guess we'll never know.
Yeah. So
that's conspiracy theory number one. What's number two?
Number two is Goldman Sachs playing their usual games.
Goldman. So no, this was actually the news coming out of the crash was that it was because it was linked to the fact that it was reported in the media that Goldman Sachs had abandoned their plans for a cryptocurrency trading desk. That little piece of news was left to simmer for about 48 hours. And then, I think it was the CEO.
Yeah, the CFO. Yeah.
CFO, was it, of Goldman's comes out and says...
Fake news.
Fake news.
But this has happened before. I mean, something similar. I remember around this time, maybe 7 months ago, one of the banks, big banks, maybe it was Goldman, I don't remember exactly what it was. But a bunch of fake news, and then a few days later, markets recovered, and it came out.
I've got JP Morgan in my head.
Yeah, could be that.
Could be.
But he kind of always ran his mouth about Bitcoin being a scam and all stuff like that. And then,
So, again, conspiracy theories. Why was this news allowed to get out there, this fake news, and why was it allowed to simmer for 40 hours? Those that have the tinfoil hats would have you believe that it was a deliberate ploy by Goldman to allow their very, very, very much existent cryptocurrency trading desk to take advantage of a crash in the market.
It might have not even come from Goldman. Because it could, I mean, we could have called up Cointelegraph, goes, oh, I just got out of a meeting with Goldman Sachs, they're canceling the thing. And then all of a sudden, 2 minutes later, an article appears on Cointelegraph. And,
that's a very good point.
It could just be someone looking to take advantage of price movement. I mean, great way to buy in. Crash the market, buy in.
FUD. That's epic level fudding there.
Yeah. Smart fudding.
Yeah, very good. Okay. So, we don't know. Next one. What's the next conspiracy theory?
Well, it's not a conspiracy. It's a
next
fact.
Theory.
There's a flash sell on ETH. Someone sold, I think, 200,000 Ethereum.
Yeah.
Straight onto an exchange. I think that had? I don't think so. I think Ethereum is under a lot of pressure. I think you got tons of ICOs right now who are haven't sold, and they're feeling the pain. They might have had. They have 80% less than they would have had in January.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe they need to get some money. They need to pay some bills. They had enough of watching the screen every day, and they sold. It is the only currency that I know of that creates its own competition and encourages mass sell-offs. So it's not. I mean, Ethereum is just kind of a flawed business case, really, in the terms of tokenomics. And I've been saying that forever since Ethereum was trading around 850. Now it's 200.
Yeah.
And it's just because ICOs cannot go and pay for computers and staff with Ethereum. No. And their staff have lives. You're not going to pay your rent with Ethereum. So, I mean, I know a few crypto companies that pay their staff and as much as they can in crypto.
Yeah, we do know one or two.
Yeah. But eventually those people have to sell it.
Yeah.
You can't buy gas with crypto yet, and then eventually at some point someone has to sell it, right? I mean, even if every gas station and restaurant and supermarket took crypto, eventually they have to sell it to pay suppliers in fiat. It's just a fact. So the more of that supply that goes into hands that are having no incentive other than to sell it, the more you can expect it to dump.
I mean, would you expect that to have such an immediate impact on the Bitcoin sell-off, though? Because it was, the volume spiked. It was 5 minutes.
What's interesting is the shorts also went up at the same time. The short.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's our own little internal conspiracy theory, because we started looking at that. Rest assured, even with a crash that rapid, that big, somebody made a lot of money off it. And indeed, Chris and I were looking at the Bitcoin shorts, which the volume for those went through the roof at just the same time. So...
largest spike ever in Bitcoin shorts since you could short Bitcoin.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So someone's getting rich off of these things.
Yeah, I think it actually was the fastest decline in Bitcoin's history.
Yeah.
I just read something about that.
Surprise me. Yeah. So I think by the time it finished, Bitcoin had lost about 14%, I think it was.
Yeah. In a matter
Ethereum was down, I think, 22%.
Yeah.
It was horrible. It was brutal.
Yeah. And it hasn't recovered really.
What's the next theory slash?
There's not really theories. It's just kind of people speculating that TA had something to do with it. TA had nothing to do with it.
Self-fulfilling prophecies of TA?
Not really, because it was at the resistance line. It either breaks.
I heard you muttering to yourself about someone banging someone's head on some Fibonacci something or other.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's on about half the time.
Yeah, it's Bitcoin was banging its head on Fibonacci's door, and
he said something like that.
No one opened. So it went down. That's the theory. But it wouldn't go down that much because it pretty much went down to the next kind of...
Oh, you wouldn't expect that sort of...
Yeah, no. It's too much. It would retreat a little bit, hang out, wait, build up some more consolidation at a certain level, and then it will make another attempt. Yeah. That would have been the healthy thing for the market to do because it was heading in that direction. But as we know, crypto is not healthy. It does whatever it wants.
Yeah. It is a cancer. It is. And was there any other...
There was... That's about it. Something about some short positions.
Yeah. Well, we discussed the shorts. Yeah. So, what's our conclusion there? No one is any the wiser.
No, I think the one thing we can be certain of is that there is mass manipulation in Bitcoin market and crypto market in general. It's just way too easy. So long as you buy into the fake news and everyone's trigger happy and pushes those sell keys, you're going to have this. And there's people that know that and are making millions or more off of this and why wouldn't they do it? I mean, if we can go and spread some FUD, short Bitcoin all the way down, cash it out, use the money we just made shorting it to go buy back in, ride it all the way back up. Great way to make some money, especially in a jittery market that has low volume. It doesn't take much to move this market. I mean, it's on the good day on Bitcoin volume is the average day back in the winter. So
So that's how much as money has bled out of the market.
Yeah, about half the volume.
Yeah. But as with all things in life, unfortunately, it seems that money follows money. If you've got the kinds of cash that Chris is talking about there to actually make that happen, then you're going to make more money.
Yeah.
For the man on the street, it's just pain.
Yeah, that's it.
Sad. Anyway, so
welcome to finance.
Conspiracy theory's done. I did say I wasn't going to talk about the platform. What I meant is I'm not going to talk about platform updates, but I would like to talk about something actually, because with the latest raft of updates we've had to the platform, which if you are a beta tester and you've not logged on for a while, do so. Try it out because it's so close to now being a public beta. It's amazing. And the next update's just around the corner that will basically finish it off for now for the public launch, but it will obviously be continuing to develop it. This week we saw some interesting things happening. So having switched on the ratings engine for the first time last week, we're now generating ratings on assets. And there's been a couple of projects, a couple of assets that have pinged up this week in the dashboard, in the Ignite Ratings platform dashboard, as very, very, very low-rated assets, like borderline scams.
Okay.
And in fact, in chatting to some of our community members about these projects, the general feeling is that they are scams. Mm-hmm. So that's interesting. So Ignite, and the fact that Ignite creates real-time ratings, has been able to identify these scams in real time through crowdsourced wisdom, albeit that the crowd we're currently sourcing our wisdom from is quite small because it's our beta testers. It's at most a couple hundred people at a time. But then the really interesting thing for me, hey Oliver.
Oh, hey guys. Hey.
The really interesting thing for me is that if you then compare those, if you then look at the ratings in the more, I don't want to actually name names, but the more traditional rating sites. If you look at
know what they are.
If you look at the ratings that they award those very same assets, we're talking, if you're talking on a scale of 0 to 5, which most of them tend to use, we're talking 4.4s, 4.8s even.
And what is it on Ignite?
Oh, 1 point. I mean, it's.
But we know why that is.
Yeah. But for me, it's really, really, really interesting because there's one in particular. I'll name the project. It's Fiancia, which is basically as much as anyone can make out. It's a scam. The development stopped. The team members have removed the project from their LinkedIn. The social media channels have disappeared. The Telegram channels have disappeared. All the money apparently got funneled through Shapeshift. But if you actually go to Google and you try and Google Fiancia scam, what comes up is ICO bench, ICO ratings, ICO marks, and all these different other sites. I named those because they're Google search results, but all these other sites that then display what the rating is. So somebody in that position, I mean, they're not still accepting. Hey Sabrina, they're still not accepting contributions, but if they were, somebody trying to do the research.
So they're not accepting contributions anymore.
No. So that particular, the danger zone has passed for that particular project. But if you think about it, if you were,
you still have a high rating. Yeah.
If they were still accepting contributions and you were there trying to do your research, hitting Google, going, "Oh, is this one a scam?" All you'd see is high ratings, high ratings, high ratings. Except on Ignite, where our community have said, "No, there's something fishy here," and they've voted it right down. I just think that's great because it really shows that the proof of concept is working and it will work.
Yeah, and it allows you to weed through all the junk, and find the few little gems, I mean, because the fact is that the ICO market, I mean, it's obvious that it's not performing particularly well at the moment. There's a lot of projects that are on hold, a lot of people who spend some money trying to develop the project and say, we can't raise anything, no point. So it is a tough market right now, but we knew this was going to happen. It was funny, we were saying this back when we first started looking at ICOs over almost 2 years ago, that it was like, what? That doesn't make any sense at all. How can these guys be raising money?
Yeah.
And the fact is that it wasn't sustainable. It's not a sustainable way to go and spend a bunch of money on marketing and he who hypes the most wins. It doesn't work. What does work is creating a valuable project that people want to use, that could be a sustainable business one day, that makes sense, that's logical, that has real people, good team behind it, and then it being properly evaluated. And those projects should raise the money that they want to. Yeah. Because that's how you further this industry and the community, and that's how business works, right?
So
yeah, it's interesting to see that it's already working.
There's a lot of people saying, ICOs are dead, the ICO market's dead. I
don't think it's dead.
I don't think it's dead. I think it needs to evolve. And I think I'm confident that this is the start of the evolution. What Ignite is doing by ourselves, and also with one or two other partners who shall remain nameless for now, I think we will start to see things move in that direction. I'm super excited to be a part of that, as should you guys be. So thank you for being a part of that. And if you're not, why not? I'm going to say it. Please sign up to be a beta tester. There's a couple of weeks left. Going to public beta. Your reputation that you earn now will stand when the platform goes live, so get a head start. There you go. That's all I'm going to say.
There you go. It's a good time to get
Right, should we wrap it up before anyone else comes back in from lunch?
I think everyone...
It's bound to happen at some point. We sit here every week and people come and go, but there we go.
Yeah.
So
I think that's it for us.
It's like Piccadilly Circus in here today. Anyway, cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Have a good weekend.
We're heading into the weekend. Enjoy it. Bye.
See you.